You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network, the home of the Options Podcast. For more quality options programs, visit theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app available in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Select programs are also available via live stream at mixlr.com/options-insider. That's mixlr.com/options-insider. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, stocktwits.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions at theoptionsinsider.com.
Welcome to the Hot Options Report, your premier source for insight into the fast-moving options market. Each day, we'll track down the products that are dominating the options chains and impacting your trading account. From Apple to VIX and everything in between, if it's lighting up the options tape, then you'll find it on the Hot Options Report. And now, get ready to scan the tape for the most explosive options activity on the street. It's time for the Hot Options Report.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Hot Options Report for Friday, August 1st. Now, if you're listening to this show, chances are that you're pretty serious about options trading. So let me put something on your radar. Public. It's the most cost-effective way to trade options. That's because Public is the only platform that gives you rebates on your options trades. They also have some of the industry's lowest index options fees, whether you're placing single leg or complex multi-leg trades. Every dollar counts. Check out public.com/optionsbrief and discover the most cost-effective way to trade options. Again, the Hot Options Report brought to you by Public. Full disclosures in the podcast description. All right, everybody, let's get down to business for a wild Hot Options Report. Man, a lot going on out there. To kick off August, it was almost a year ago, August 5th, where we had the market meltdown and a big sell-off across the board. Saw something not quite as aggressive, obviously, today, but saw another aggressive sell-off to kick off the month of August, which came as a gut punch to the market, of course, after so many days post-April 8th of the major indices rocketing north and vol coming back down to earth. We saw that script getting flipped, gut punch to the markets today with kind of a 1-2-3 combo of bad non-farms report, as well as tariffs kicking off, as well as some earnings vol kicking in there as well, all combining to give the markets a bit of a gut punch, all the major indices closing in the red. And vol getting spicy again. In fact, VIX cash closing back in a 20 handle today after kissing a 14 handle not too long ago. So things looking a little bit spicy out there. We're going to start, as we always do, in vol land. And VIX putting up some numbers today, as you might expect. Nearly 2 million contracts on the tape for VIX today. 1.97 million contracts on the tapes, just a hair under 2 million. That blows away the ADV of 676,000. So again, that shows you kind of what a wild day it was out there today. The hot option in VIX land today was 178,000 of the September 35 calls. Kind of a wild option, a wild month and strike. When you dig in a little bit, it looks like it actually was a roll from the AUG 35s out to the SEP 35s. So bailing on their August, buying the SEP, doing that roll for looks like about 47 cents, nearly 50 cents. Again, 300,000 contracts over that just in that one roll. So pretty sizable trade out there in VIX land. Moving on to SPY. Was it a hot, a spicy, and explosive day in SPY? The answer was, of course, was a wild day out there in SPY. The ADV is already 7.65 million, blowing that away today. 10.7 million contracts on the tape in SPY. It's been a while since we've seen a day this hot. And what was the hot option out there in good old SPY today? It was 571,000. Man, that is a lot of paper. 571,000 of the 620 puts. And those went out within spitting distance, listeners. I could see why you might want to load up on those. SPY selling off pretty hard. We ended up mitigating the sell-off somewhat towards the end of the day. SPY closing right around 621 3/4. So unfortunately, if you paid anything for those bad boys, they had an average price, looks like about 78 cents today. And you rode them till the close. Unfortunately, close but no cigar for you out there as we keep on rolling, pun intended, out to the S. The good old SPX. Was it a hot day in the S? The answer was, of course it was. The ADV 3.6 million, blowing that away today as well, right around 4 3/4 million contracts going up in the SPX today. The hot option out there again to the dark side, 6,200 puts going up 145,000 times today. I think you know what I'm going to say. You paid anything for those and rode them into the close. Unfortunately, not a winner chicken dinner for you. The average price for those is right around 3 3/4. The S going out 62.38, pretty much exactly out there today. So the flip side, if you sold them for anything, then you're looking pretty good right now, even if you had to sweat a little bit intraday. Let's go out to small caps. Man, just an explosive day in small caps. The ADV 1.4 million, blowing that away by 1 million contracts. 2.4 million contracts changing hands in IWM today. The hot option in IWM has been downside for a while. Seems like folks have been prepping AUG and SEP downsides, been lighting up the tape, and that was the case again today. The August 204 puts going up 104,000 times, average price right around $1.75. Got some time for these bad boys, even if IWM didn't play ball today. Selling off, but not quite getting anywhere close to that 204 strike, closing a little bit shy of 215. So it's got a ways to go to hit that, but also got some time. Not just buying options that expire today. And getting on out to the Qs, I think you can guess if VIX and SPY and small caps are all hot today, then the Qs were pretty explosive today as well, and that was the case. The ADV is 3.6 million, 5.64 million contracts changing hands in the Qs today. The hot option in the Qs, 211,000 of the 555 calls, again, expiring today. These ones also close and no cigars, like they had an average price of about $1.20 today. And the Q's going out 553.88, so within spitting distance, but unfortunately not getting there by the end of the day. Intraday could have been a different story. Could have bought them and sold them, done all right, but if you held them to the close, not a winner chicken dinner for you. Now, was it a hot day on the single name options front? You know, we have a lot going on the micro side, earnings in particular driving a lot of action out there, and the answer is yes, it was an explosive day out there, listeners. 766,000 contracts. That's what it cost you to break into the top 10 today. That gets you to our old pal UNH. By the way, that is the hottest we've ever seen, at least for the now 2 weeks that we've been running the hot options report. The most paper it's cost you to break into the top 10 today. So a pretty spicy, a pretty active day out there, listeners. And that over 750,000 contracts out there, what does that get you? That gets you to UNH. And the hot option out there, United Health today, 23,000 of the 240 puts expiring today. It's been a lot of weekly options dominating our top 10 today. Since they're going out today, they're effectively 0-day options at that point. And the 240 puts lighting it up today. They had an average price of around, looks like $1.25. UNH going out 237 3/4. So it looks like those puts, if you held them till the end of the day, you got them for $1.25. You're looking pretty good out there, listeners, as we keep on rolling to number 9, good old Meta, just rocketing north on the backs of a stellar earnings announcement earlier this week. Coming back to earth a little bit today, still about almost 50 handles exactly north of where it closed going into its announcement. Closing today, 750, pretty much exactly, putting up 806,000 contracts. We saw a lot of people rolling the bones on 825 calls today and yesterday. Unfortunately, those not coming to pass out there, but the hot option today was, go figure, the 7.5 puts, the 750 puts, lighting up the tape 36,000 times today. Made sense as we're vacillating around that strike now. Kind of a funky one. They went up for an average price of about 234 out there today. So if you paid that for them, unfortunately, going out right at the strike, pinning effectively, means that was not a winner chicken dinner for you. On the flip side, if you sold them, and you gritted your teeth all the way into the close, you had to sweat a little bit. You did all right on those bad boys. Meta, number 9, 806,000 contracts. Number 8 is our old pal Palantir, 903,000 contracts. You know it's hot when we're at number 8. We're already threatening 1 million contracts. Palantir putting up 56,000 of the 155 calls. So that's been the hot strike all week long for them. And unfortunately, we kept asking, will they get there? Will they get there? And they closed above it yesterday, 158 and a third. They opened right at that 155 strike today, listeners. They ended up closing down to 154 and a quarter pretty much. So unfortunately, no joy for those bad boys today. They had an average price of about 82 cents on those 155s. Better luck next week, I suppose, for all those folks who were slinging on those. Number 7, going out to Robinhood, 938,000 contracts on the tape. Hood just breaking the par strike to the downside. 99.90 is where it closed. Had a good run for a while. Earnings kind of set it back a little bit this week. And of course, the gravitational pull of the market pulling it down today as well. The hot option in Robinhood today, 48,000 of the, guess what? The par puts. Again, 48,000 of those bad boys traded for about an average price of about $1. Unfortunately, they went out at a dime, listeners. So if you paid $1 for them, no bueno out there. On the flip side, if you sold them and you gritted your teeth, then maybe you did all right. Hopefully you close them out at the end of the day. Otherwise, those puts you sold are expiring in the money, so be careful out there. You don't want to have positions you didn't plan on coming in on Monday morning. As we keep on rolling out to AMD, number 6, listeners. What's going on in Chipland? 1.2 million contracts. That's what's going on out there. The hot option in AMD, 118,000 of the 172 half calls out there, listeners. Looks like an average price of about 68 cents today. And unfortunately, if you paid anything for those, including 68 cents, no bueno today. The stock going out 171.65. Flip side, though, if you sold them for that average price of 68 cents, you're looking pretty good right now. To number 5 we go. The Monster coming in hot off their earnings, listeners, putting up about 1.3 million contracts today. The hot option in the Monster today, 54,000 of, interesting, one of our lone departures in our top 10 today. It was the 420 calls expiring next week, not today, going up 54, almost 55,000 times. Looks like an average price of about $2. So 420 looks pretty far in the rearview mirror, unfortunately. MicroStrategy selling off $35 today, nearly 9%, closing 366 and roughly 2/3. So 420, if you paid nearly $2 for them, you need this stock to pretty much explode to the upside over the course of the next week. So I guess we're pulling for you, but 422 by next Friday. Again, anything could happen in the Monster, but that seems like a pretty big move right now. Number 4 coming in hot off their earnings as well. It's the Amazonians, putting up nearly 2 million contracts today. They're one of the few big tech names to seemingly screw the pooch on their earnings. Of course, tariffs weighing on them out there. Amazon closing a little bit shy of 215 today, 214 3/4 off, nearly $20, about 19 1/3, or a little over 8% today. The hot option out there in the Amazonians, go figure, it was a put expiring today. 65,000 of the 215 puts. They had an average price of about 75 cents. So unfortunately, if you paid 75 cents, they went out at $0.25. So not a great trade there. On the flip side, if you sold them for that, you're doing all right. Same deal, though. Make sure you close out those trades towards the end of the day. Otherwise, you have options expiring in the money. You don't want to, if you're short options, have any surprises waiting for you on Monday morning. Number 3, another name, another A-tech name, really, that was dominating their earnings front this week. This was Apple. They actually put out a decent number, and yet they got sucked down by the gravitational pull as well. 202 1/3 is where they closed, off a little over $5, about 2.5%. They put up 2.2 million contracts today, so a pretty active day for Apple. The hot option out there, 151,000 of the 205 calls. If past its prologue, folks are probably buying these at an average price of about 56 cents. So unfortunately, no joy for them, closing well shy of the 205 strike out there today. Number 2, it's Tesla. Also flirting with the par strike, just like Apple, closing 302 and about 2/3, putting up about 3.5 million contracts today. The hot option in Tesla. The par puts going up 332,000 times today, average price of about 83 cents. If you paid that for them, unfortunately, you got close but no cigar. Like we said, Tesla closing a little bit north of the par strike today. As we keep on going to the number 1 most active equity option out there today, of course, you know what it was. It was NVIDIA. Nearly 4 million contracts, 3.9 million contracts on the tape for NVIDIA. The hot option out there, 352,000 of the 175 calls. Again, average price about 56 cents today. 175. Unfortunately, not getting it done. The stock closing 173 and around 3/4. So unfortunately, if you paid for those and held them to the close, not looking great. Flip side, if you sold them, you got a bit of a smile on your face. And I hope you have a smile on your face as you've been listening to the Hot Options Report all week. That's going to do it for us on the network today. If you missed any of our shows, luckily they're all there for you on the network feed, so make sure you're checking out that network feed wherever you're getting your favorite podcasts. Of course, if you want even more in your lives, including Options Oddities, just went up before this show. That's hanging out over there on the Pro. TheOptionsInsider.com/pro is the place to go to learn more. We'll see you back here for more great episodes of the Hot Options Report. Stay safe out there, everybody.
Check out public.com/optionsbrief and discover the most cost-effective way to trade options. Paid for by Public Investing. Full disclosures in podcast description.